Hello friends, in this video I am going to explain about the savable data pages in Pega. I hope you must be aware of what is a data page and what is the purpose of data page. Okay, I'm not going to explain about the complete data pages concept. I hope at least some people aware of what is the use of data pages. Obviously, the data page. That means obviously a page contains a data. A page contains a data. It's a single page data or multiple pages of the data. That means it's a single page or a list page. Always a data page can hold the data, which is nothing but it can fetch the data and save the data into a clipboard. Remember this point, it can fetch the data from the different source system. That might be either database or that might be external system, or it's from the data transform, from an activity, from the report definition, or from the external system, either PayPal, Facebook, Twitter, etc. Any one of the source, ultimately source. Okay, so the data page can load the data from the source and save it into the clipboard. Save it into the clipboard. It is not saving into the database table. It is not permanently saving into the database. It is a temporarily maintaining the data in a in memory in the sense a clipboard. That means it is not permanently saving the data. Okay, the main intention of the data page is it will improve the performance of the application. Why? Because it will reduces the number of calls to the source, so that based on your availability of the data you can fetch the data and keep it in a memory and use it the data. Okay, based on your requirement you can use the data. So whenever you want you can remove the data also from the in memory, which is nothing but a clipboard. Remember this, data pages are node based. That means one data page is present in a single node that cannot be available in the another node. Why? Because as I already told you, the database data is always present in a in memory in the sense JVM memory. JVM memory is nothing but a clipboard memory. For example, just for example, okay, I have a one SBI bank application. In my SBI bank application I have a list of countries, because people are trying to register for something. I have a one form. In that form I have to load the country details. I have to show the country details. Now how can you show the country details? There are multiple ways you can show the country details. There are multiple ways. You can create an activity and fetch it, and you can use the data transform, and you can create a one report definition, etc. What is the drawback of all these things? So every time if the screen is loading, every time a call will be sent to the source to fetch the data. Every time a call will be sent to the source to fetch the data. So this is one disadvantage. Now what is the efficient way? I want to reduce the number of calls, I want to improve some performance, etc. So that what I can do, I can pull the data at once and keep it in a memory, and I can reuse it whenever I want. Okay, just because, however, there are some advantages and disadvantages of the data pages also, but I'm not going to explain about all this. Our main intention is the savable data page concept. Now, so let's jump back to the data page concept. So now I have the data in my data page. We have a three types of, as of now we have a two types. One is read only data page, another one is editable data page. From the 7.4 version onwards, we have a one more option, called it as a savable data page. What is the use of the savable data page and what is the benefit of this? That is very important. So before that, if I want to load a countries list, what I can do, I can create a one data page and I can load the data from a source or from a database and say, and loading into the data page. That's it. Now that is nothing but a read-only data page. That means no one can have an option to modify the data. No one can have an option to modify the data which is present in the data page when the data page mode is read only. But we have a one more option, editable data page. We have a one more option, editable data page. In the editable data page, we have an option to edit the data which is present in the data page, which is available in the data page. Now in the next option, savable data page. What is the use of savable data page and what is the difference between the savable and editable? In the editable data page, you can modify the data, but you cannot persist the data. Persisting means permanently saving the data. You don't have that option. That means I'll tell you. Let me take just a simple example. I'm taking notepad. I'm writing some logic. So, for example, I have a country list. I have a country list, or I have a country details. You can fetch this country list or country details either using the data page d underscore country or country list, etc. Okay, d underscore country or country list. It is a single page or a multiple pages. Now ultimately you have the data into the data page. You have the data into the data page. Read only, if the data page is read only, you cannot do anything. Just loading, just that means reading. You don't have an option to manipulate it. You don't have an option to edit the data page. Now there is a one more option, editable data page. In the editable data page, what I can do, the d underscore country list dot px results, assuming because we have a multiple pages, right? We have a multiple pages. I am looping the data page data, and I can modify the data. I can modify the data. That's it. But the modified data only present in the clipboard. Only present in the clipboard. That is nothing but a JVM. Clipboard is nothing but a JVM. Okay. Ultimately RAM. JVM is also, it's a Java technology. Ultimately RAM. Okay. And even if you can say, okay, ultimately RAM. Now, uh, the data is present in the clipboard as of now, but my intention is I want to save the data into the database. So now what you have to do, okay, after manipulation you have to explicitly write some logic, to save the data into some system, whatever the system you want to save into the Oracle database, you want to save into the MySQL, or you want to save into the external system, or you want to send this data to the one RESTful service where they can update the data, etc. You have to explicitly write some logic. Okay, but I have a one more option from 7.4 onwards. They have introduced the one more option, call it as a savable data page. Savable data page. That means if you select any data page of type savable, if you select any data page of type savable, and if you manipulate the data which is present in the savable data page, that data will be automatically saved into the database. That data will be automatically saved into the database. Here one small correction, automatically saved into the some database. I am just mentioning here, I want to show you to the save the data into the database. But one more correction here also, automatically means a small correction, not exactly automatically, because even I have to write I have to just call the data page again. I have to just call the data page. I'll show it in the coming example so that you can understand very easily. So the only difference here is, here you don't have an option. In the editable data page you have to write a activity, or you have to create a one data transform, etc. In that you have to write some logic to save the data into the database. But here you no need to do that. You no need to do that. In the savable data page, automatically the data which is modified in the savable data page will be persisted into the database table. But here also you have to call that savable data page. To save the data, just one line. But you no need to write some explicit logic. So in my example, what I am going to show you is, I have some countries. So let's jump into the practical example so that you can understand very easily. Okay, so this is my just a simple case. Felt bore with car loan, now modified into the insurance claim. Just click on save and run. Just click on save and run. So three stages. One is, first stage is capture a claim details. Capture a claim details. Okay, now see, this is a very simple screen here. See, this is the country. Here country is a drop down. Let's jump into this. What is this exactly? This section we will see this country, right? Okay, just let's open. This is a country. What is the source of this drop down? Country list. Open this country list. Okay, this is the d underscore country list. No worries. I just created a one data type country. I just created a one data type country. This data type country having country code, country description, country ID, country name, and this I am having the four records: India, China, France, and Norway, and these are the country IDs: country ID, country description, country name, and etc. So when I created a data type, complementary Pega has created three data pages. If you want, you can see d underscore country, d underscore country list, and a d underscore country savable. D underscore country savable. Only it will give the three data pages. This is I created. Okay, leave it as of now. Leave it. When you create a data type d underscore country, country list, and country savable will be created by the Pega automatically. Just for usage, you no need to create it again and again. If you want, you can manipulate it. Now, so as Pega is automatically created when I created a data type, I am using these data pages in my example. So d underscore country list. What is the purpose of this one? So this is the list. What is the purpose of this one? It will fetch the data from the countries table. So first of all, we will see list or page. Obviously, every time we have these two options only, either page data or a list data. Page means a single record, list means multiple records. Okay, now here this is the class name, from which class you want to fetch the data, from which class. I mean, this data page results contains a which class. Okay, the data page results belongs to which class. Now here we have a three types of options: mode read only and editable. Mode read only, editable. From 7.4 onwards we have a one more option, called it as a savable. Now scope, we have obviously three scopes. One is a thread level, node level, requester level. So here also node level, thread level, requester level. Depends upon the mode and these will be changed. Now if I select it as a read only, now thread, requester, and node level. If I select it as editable, one second, it is just refreshing, don't confuse. If it is editable, we have only two options: thread level and requester level. If I save it as a savable, now also we have a two options: thread level and a requester level. So interview point of view also, they will ask you what are how many types of modes are available in the data page, and what are the different types of scopes, and is it how many number of scopes are available for when the mode is savable or when the mode is editable, etc. Now, and also depends upon the mode, depends upon the scope and depends upon the mode also. Another settings will be changed. The load management tab will be also changed. Let us suppose, for example, if the type is read only, just open the load management, see the settings: reload once per interaction, do not reload, reload if older than, etc. Now if the type is editable, see, there is no reload options, etc. There is no reload options. If the type is savable, no reload options, because there is an option to manipulating, because there is an option to manipulate it. If you are going to manipulate the data, what is the purpose of reloading the data page? What is the purpose of reloading the data page? But in the previous case, if it is a read only, yes, the reload will be required. Why? Because to fetch the latest data always. But in case of editable, then there is no point of reloading the data page. That's why there is no option. Now coming back to requester also. Coming back to requester, okay, and load management, read only, all the options. Node level, one more option, access group, one more option, access group. So like this, the options will be vary, depends upon the scope and mode. Scope and mode. Now just refresh. I am using this d underscore country list data page for my drop down, for my drop down source. See, this is my drop down source, d underscore country list, etc. So that's why in my section the countries are loading with the India, China, France and Norway. Now my intention is, when I select this country, I want to load the country details using the savable data page. Or you can use the country d underscore country also. You can use the d underscore country, or you can use the d underscore country savable, or you can use another mechanism. But right now what I am using is, the moment if the user selected any country, see, I am loading the country details. I am loading the country details 3, country code 345, country description France, country ID 3 and country name France, because these are the details. Go to the records. Country ID 3 France 345, etc. How I have loaded all these details means, just go back to your capture claim insurance. Why? Because first, let me explain here this one. So this is my just a simple section, capture a claim details. Here all blah, 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 all these fields. But here see, there is a drop down. I already shown you. This is my drop down. Okay, this is my drop down. Already explained you, right? On the drop down, I am using the d underscore country list. Now here there is a one more section also there below this layout. I have already kept it as a one more section. This is, open the settings. One second. So here there is a one more section. So this section is loading the country details. So I have used the page context is a d underscore country savable data page. D underscore country savable data page. One second, I'll explain this section as well. So let's open my case type as usually. What is this? Insurance claim, right? Save and run. Okay. Now here, the moment when I select the country name, the country details are automatically populating. Automatically populating means here I am using the one data page concept. Here I am using the one data page concept. See this one, all these are, if you change it to the India, now country details are populating. Now how these country details are populating, I am going to explain now. Okay, this is my section. Now here see this one. This is my embedded section. Here just open the section. This section is contains all these country details, country ID, country code, country name. But remember this is belongings to the data country class. This is belongings to the data country class, which is my data type. Which is my data type. So as usual, I have created a country code, country name, and country ID properties. Country code, which is a one property, like this, country description, etc. The important thing here is, so in the previous section, see this one, page context, I have used the country saveable. Page context, I have used the d underscore country saveable. This is also built-in data page, which is created by the Pega when I created a data type. What is the parameter for this? What is the parameter for this? Country ID is the input parameter. That means if you pass a country ID, it will give the country details. Forget about these extra options, mode, saveable, etc. Forget about. So database data page is always having the two options. Sorry, one option. Only fetch the data. But saveable data page having the two options. Loading the data and saving the data. First, now here I am explaining about loading the data. So this d underscore country saveable. See this one, data source is lookup. Data source is lookup and class name is country. That means if you pass a country ID, it will give the country details. That's why if you pass a country ID, the country ID value, sir, it should be country ID, right? Yes, it should be country ID, but ultimately my drop down property value. What is my property value? This one. My drop down property value is holding the country ID. Okay. Now here I am passing d underscore country saveable. I am taking as a page context to this section. Page context to this section, and visibility condition is country blank. Is country blank means, because first time when you load the screen, right? First time when you load the screen, the country details are not showing, right? Only next time when you select the country, then only that section is populating. That's why I have created a one when rule. Dot country greater than 0. Why? Because country ID should be greater than 0. That's why I just created a one when rule. Just created a one when rule. Okay, see, first time it's not loading. Next time when you select China, now the country details are populating. Why? Because here the section is d underscore country saveable country. So I am not doing anything here. I just refer the d underscore country saveable is the data page, passing the country ID. So if you want to hard code also, you can hard code it, but this country value is having, this country property is holding what is the value. The moment you selected right here China, France, etc. So the value internally country ID 1 2 3 4, that value is setting to this country property. The value is setting to this country property. So now I am passing just this country property value to this country saveable. Finally, the database data is present. The database data is present. If you want, you can see. Okay, where is my data page? I3013 d underscore country saveable. See this one, country ID 1 But what is your py work page? This py work page, the property holding this country is 1. India I selected, right? Now automatically you refer that data page, right, as a page context. It is calling, and see, these are the country single page, right? This is a single page. All the country details, country code, country description, country ID, etc. Fine. This is fine. Okay. Now I am having all these details. Then where is the point of savable concept here, sir? Okay, coming to that. Now what I am going to do for country ID 2, I am providing an option to the user, change the country name. If you want, you can change the country name. So what I am doing is country description from China to Australia. Okay, from China to Australia. Now country name also I'm changing, but country ID I want to keep it, but country code also from 69 to 981 country code. The moment when you click on submit, you have to write the logic. You have to write the logic to save these details into the database table. Database table means this country. There is a data type country, right? You have to write the logic to save the data, modified data, not only this country, any details, you have to explicitly write the logic into the database table. Now what I am going to do here, Pega provided an option, savable data page, right? Yes. Now the modified data, now this modified data is present in the clipboard, but it is not present in the database table. You have to save the data, right? Explicitly you have to write the logic to save the data into the database table, but right now I am not writing that. Right now I'm not writing. Just when you click on submit, before click on submit, I want to save the data page, because now the data is present in the data page d underscore country savable. Still China. Why? Because I did not implemented the post value. Leave it. I did not implemented the post value. No problem. When you click on submit, what my intention is, I want to save the data page. I want to save the data page. Sir, you said that you no need to write the logic to save the data into the database table. Yes, I am standby on that point. But my intention is, I want to call one function or some. My intention is I want to save this data page. I want to save this data page. Now you have edited, right? Now just you have edited. Now I want to save this data page. When you save the data page, then the data will be also saved into permanently into the database table. How I am going to do that? How I am going to do that? Because you can save the savable data page in a multiple ways. You can call it from a flow, you can call it from a flow action, and you can call it from an activity. Now I will show you these three. Now go back to your insurance claim. Here what I'm going to do, I'm just adding one automation shape. Where is my savable? Yes, save a data page, select. Now, what is your data page name? What is your data page name? D underscore country savable. That's it. Just click on save. Now you have to pass a country ID, right? What is the country ID? The country ID value is holding, which property is holding the country ID value? If you want, you can hard code it, but that is not correct, right? Now I am passing the country ID value is, 1 second, it is still error. Okay, I am passing the country ID value is country, because this property is ultimately holding that value. That's it. With a simple automation shape, I am saving the data permanently into the database with the savable database concept. Otherwise, you have to write some activity in the post processing of that assignment. You have to write that activity in the post processing of that assignment. Okay, you have to loop the details, you have to create a page new, you have to write a property set, and you have to write a obj save, you have to write a commit with error handling, etc, etc, etc. Now I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do anything. I'm just using the savable data page. Okay, now just come back to your d underscore country savable, because we did not saw the options. Now as of now, data page definition single page, mode savable, scope is thread, scope is thread, and data source is lookup is country. But what is the important, see, there is a new option to the savable data page, is a data save option. What is the another option? Data save option. So we have a different types of save options. How you are going to save the savable data page? So database save or connector, robotic automation, robotic desktop automation, or activity. You can choose any one of these options to save the savable data page data. To save the savable data page data. Try to understand here. I am using save and savable data page and data. I'm just using. You can choose any one of these options to save the savable data page data. Now database save means you no need to write any extra logic. There is an option called it as a database save. Permanently it will save the data into this countries table. Permanently it will save the data into countries table. So connector means you can use one restful connector to update the data into the external systems. You can use connector also to update this data permanently into the external system. But right now I'm not using. Activity, you can create your own activity. That means here you can implement an activity. Here you can implement an activity to save the data. Here you can create one activity to save this data page, to save this data page. Okay, right now very simple option. That means here also you need to create an activity to save the data page, to save the data page. That is, I will also show you that point. Now just I am using the database save. I am just using the database save. So just refresh, because total 5 options. Most frequently used option is database save and activity, because these two are talking in terms of the robotic process automation. And if you want to update this modified data into the external systems by using the connect rest connector, you can use this one. You can use this one. But see, this one data save type is database save. Class name is country. Now what is the class name? SBI loan, home loan, SBI Apple, country. Which table? The class which is mapped to the particular table, right? Countries table. Now that modified data also will be saved into this database table. Now here local save means you can decide if you are saving the data into the local Pega database table or external database table. Obviously I am choosing my local save only. I am not saving the data into the external table. Either your wish. And data transform also, because here if you want to provide a different class name, if you want to provide a different class name, because initially what we thought, okay, ultimately the data will be saved into the countries table. Now I don't want to save it into the countries table. I want to save into the another table which is mapped to the another class. Now in that case you can provide a different class name here. So that class name is mapped to the different table. Ultimately this data is also saved into that table. By default it is the same class name. By default here the same class name which is mentioned here. But if sometimes if you want to save the data into a different class table, then you can give it here. Then in that case also data transform is mandatory to map the data. At that time data transform is mandatory to map the data. Why? Because this class properties might be different with that other class, right? So that's why you have to do the explicit mapping. Okay, next one is validate rule. So before saving the data, if you want to validate the data also, you can you can apply some validations. Here we have a multiple add save options based on the when condition. When the condition is satisfied, based on the when conditions also, you can add a multiple save options. Multiple save options are here based on the when condition. If this condition is satisfied, this one. If that condition is not satisfied, otherwise this one. So time being, I am using only directly database save option. That's it, because very important, right? Now I did not modify anything. D underscore country saveable as it is, which is created by the Pega during the data type creation. Now that's it. Come back to your case. Okay, you have added one option, call it as a save data page. This is a flow level. This is a flow level. So if you want, you can go and open this process. If you want, you can go and open this process. See, there is an option called it as a save data page smart shape. Save data page smart shape is there in Pega. Just double click. You can provide your data page. And if you want to refer the data page using the property, you can use that property instead of hard coding this data page. No, I am referring the data page using the property means you can give that property name. You can give that property name, associated property name. Okay, so now let me run this insurance claim again. Save and run. Save and run. Save and run. So now I'm just country name is China. Now I'm changing this China name to uh, Portugal. Portugal country code is 234. Now simple. I'm not implemented any logic. I'm not implemented any logic. Just I have added the save data page smart shape. Just click on submit. That's it. Now just verify your data type country. Where is the records? Okay, just refresh. Just refresh. China should be updated to Portugal. See this one. Did I added any logic? Did I write any logic to manipulate the data? I mean to save the data? No, right? So this is the benefit of savable data page. Now what I am doing is I'm just removing the save data page concept here. Save. This time I want to implement the save data page in the flow action level because we have a multiple places, right? Flow level, flow action level, flow level and flow action level. Where is my flow action? Here. Where is my flow action? There is a capture claim details, right? This is my flow action. Because here we have removed, right? We have removed that smart shape. If you want, just refresh it, then the flow will be updated here. Now here capture claim details. Now here in the action tab, post processing, see this one, savable data pages, no items. If you want, you can add a data page. What is based on the when condition also, you can, if you want, you can add n number of data pages based on the conditions. Now my data page is d underscore country, savable. That's it. Okay, 1 second. D underscore country savable. What is the property name? Country, because that is the whole save. Save. Now I'm just creating a one more case. Action, save and run. Now here I have configured that save data page using the flow action. Before that I have used on the flow level. Now here this time see Portugal. Now I'm just updating from Norway. I am updating from Norway to uh, Italy. Okay, not Italy, Portugal, uh, Syria. Okay, now country Syria. Now country code 654. Just click on submit. Now in the flow action level, I have implemented. Now country action refresh. Now you can call the data. You can use the save data page at the flow action level. Syria, see this one 654 Syria record updated because I did not updated anything, right? Did I added any activity to write the logic, open property set page new obj save? Did I implement it anywhere? No. So you can use this savable data page in multiple places, and there is a one more option, right? Activity also. From activity also you can call the data page from activity. So let me create quickly an activity. Go to the records, technical. I'm just creating one dummy activity. I think this is a big video. Just want to explain a multiple options, everything, end-to-end context. So I'm selecting whatever the class. If you want, you can select insurance claim. You can select any class. Okay. Test act for save. Test act for save. Click on create and open. Now what I am doing? Property set. What is the data page name? D underscore country. D underscore country. Uh, Saveable. Okay, what is the property name? Country id, right? Country id. So naming conventions, property name country id. Country id. Country id colon. I just want to hard code here. I just want to hard code it here. What is my country id? I just want to hard code it. Country id is, for example, again I just want update from France 3. See, country id colon 3. For this data page I am just updating property set. Country description is from France to Germany. So remember this here, when you use the d underscore country saveable means the data page will be loaded. First the data page is calling and the data page will be loaded. What you are doing is country description, country name is Germany. You are just updating the data. You are just updating the data. Okay, I am not changing any country code. France value changing to the Germany. Sir, how did you know the data page is France, sir, etc.? Because here I am passing the country ID value is 3. Based on this step page logic, Pega will call the data page and load the data into the clipboard. After that, what you are doing? You are manipulating the logic. You are updating the properties of the data page. You are updating the data. Okay, then is it automatically saving the data into the data page? No, it is not, right? So from activity, if you want to call a savable data page, or from an activity, if you save the data page, there is a method called it as a save data page. Save data page. Now what is the data page? This is right, because this is very very important. It requires a parameter, right? That's why. Now right now means immediately persisting the data into the data page, immediately persisting the data into the database. So what happened? Okay, d underscore country savable SBI loan work country name is not defined, because just that's why mentioned in the pages and classes. Since this is a single page, right? That's why I have mentioned save. Okay, what happened? D underscore country savable country ID colon 3. Invalid data page name D underscore country savable country ID 3. Only savable data page can be saved using the method. Okay, this is a D underscore country savable only, right? Because expecting some parameters, I am passing a parameter value. Let's see, will it be resolved? Data page D underscore country savable. Okay, then what I can do is here, this is fine. This is fine here. Now what I can do here, just refer the data page. D underscore country savable. Now country ID 3. Like this I can pass it. Because ultimately you are saving the data. Ultimately you are saving the data. Now because here I am just writing an activity. I just want to explain about this option. There is a one method in an activity to save the savable data page. What is that method? Save data page. There is a method save data page, because just now I have explained about the flow action flow level, but I want to show you from the activity. Now just click on activity, run. run. See, the data page data will be saved. I'm just calling the savable data page. I'm not writing any logic to obj open, property set, obj save, etc. I'm just calling the savable data page. Sir, then why did you mention here property set? Because I don't have any GUI, right? Somewhere I have to manipulate the data. Then the manipulated data can be saved into the database. That's why I have used this property set. Okay. Okay, now just verify in the country. France becomes Germany. See this one, France become Germany. So now I have explained in three ways. Okay, so this is the usage of the savable data page in Pega. This is the benefit of the savable data page in Pega. But as of now, we discussed only about the single page details. As of now, we discussed about the single page details. For example, see this one. This is a D underscore country savable. This is a single page. But what about the page list? What about the page list? I have a one more data page. I have created my own. I have a one more data. Okay, let's go back to, let's talk about some list data page. Let's talk about the list, because here d underscore country savable is a savable, mode is savable, but it is a single value, single page, right? Now I will explain about the multiple values savable data page, list savable data pages. For that I have created my own database. This one Pega did not create it. Pega did not create it. As it is remains same, but only option is from the structure list to page to list. I have changed. Source is a report definition. Source is a report definition. There single data page means lookup. There a single data page, right? Sorry, single record values. That's why lookup. But here multiple values, right? Source is I mentioned as a report definition. Source I mentioned it as a report definition. In previous example, d underscore country savable, that is a single value. That's why they have source is lookup. But here I have used the report definition to fetch the multiple country details. Now my intention is when I run this d underscore savable country list. See this one. My intention is when I run the d underscore savable country list. Okay. How many number of, open the clipboard. Okay, d underscore savable country list. Probably this one, not this one. Data pages, thread level data page. PX results. See d underscore savable country list. How many number of records? 4 records as usually. Because I have mentioned the source is report definition. First talk about the source, then we will talk about the database save options. Okay, now the source, fine. Loading the data. I mean, now the data is present in the data page. Now I want to manipulate this data. I want to manipulate these 4 records. Either you can manipulate 4 records or 2 records, etc. Then after that you can save the data again back to the database. Only difference is previously we have only one record we are manipulating, but in this we can manipulate n number of records and we can save the n number of records back to the database. That is the only option. Now what are the database save options here? What are the data save options here? There we have a connector, activity, robotic automation, robotic desktop automation. But here we have only 4. There is a one more option, additional option is database save. There is a one more additional option is a database save. But here there is no database save. Why? Because you have to explicitly write the logic here to save the data into the database in the list. Pega is not automatically save the data into the database here in this list data, in this list type savable data page. In this list type savable data page, Pega is not automatically writing. You have to write your activity and save the data into the database. Now what I did is I created one activity, update country details. In my data save options I selected an activity. My activity name is update country details. Now just what I'm doing is I'm just looping the primary.px results. Primary.px results means these four results. These four results. Why? Because this d underscore savable country list is right. I have created my own data page d underscore savable country list. Same both everything is same, but I selected from page to list. I have selected source is report definition. I have selected source is report definition. Now here I created a database save option. Here Pega is not automatically saving the data into the database. Remember this point. Only you can create a save type is activity. Using that activity, you can explicitly save the data into the database. How also we can see that. Update country details. Update country details. Here what I am doing is this is my d underscore savable country list results first. What I am doing is I am iterating the four results. Just page new. What I am doing is I am copying each page into this page and I am saving that page. That's it. I am just copying each page from this d underscore country savable list data page results. I am iterating, and what I am doing, I am copying each page because I have four pages, right? I am copying each page and page copy into country page copy into country page. This is page new, page copy into country page. Now obj save is country page. Obj save is equal to country page. That's it. Obj save with right now. Obj save with right now. Now this is my logic because as I told you explicitly, I have to write an activity to save the list savable data page. To save the list savable data page. Okay, that's it, done. Then after that, ultimately you have to call this data page, right? Ultimately you have to call this data page. Ultimately you have to call this d underscore savable country list data page. Now for that what I did is this is update country details. Now I have a one activity. I created a one activity, just one activity. In this activity what I am doing is I am referring the d underscore savable country list dot px results. Save. I am calling d underscore savable country list. I have a data page, right? I am calling d underscore savable country list dot px results. I am looping. What I am doing, I am updating the country description from when the country name is Germany. When country name is Germany, I am updating the country description to Norway. And the country name also I want to update it to Norway. That's it. Similarly, if you want, you can write, if you want to update one more logic also, you can write paste. Now currently I have how many number of records here? 4 records. Now I am updating when the country is Germany. I want to update it to Norway. When the country name equal to Syria, I want to update it to some other country. Okay, now see this one. When the country name description is Germany, when the country description is equal to Syria, I want to update it to here. The above one is Norway, this one is Ireland. That's it. Time being, I'm not calling the save data page. Ultimately, remember this, you have to call this save data page from an activity. I mean, you have to call this save data page from an activity. But if you are using the flow action and flow, no need to call it. Remember this point. Remember this, the difference. Now here my intention is I am calling this savable data page from an activity. Again, what right, again I have to create a one graphical user interface where I can manipulate some data of these two records. Then I click on submit the, then in the flow I mentioned that save data page. That's what I already explained in my previous example for single record. For a multiple records, again I have to create it a one grid. That grid contains these country details. I can provide an option to edit the details, then click on submit. These details will be saved into the database table. Okay, now just run this activity. Now the data is present in the clipboard only, not present in the database. The data is present in the clipboard only. See d underscore country savable. Because it's already there, right? C and d underscore country savable list, right? Our data page is d underscore savable country list. Where is that? D underscore, yeah, this one, d underscore savable country. Now I have manipulated the records. See, for Portugal or something, Norway for Germany, for Syria, Ireland. Now I have updated, but the data is present in the clipboard, but it is not saved into the database permanently. That's why you can use the save data page concept again. Now call the save data page, call the save data page, expand. Here I am calling the d underscore savable country list. Now we have one small confusion. What is this activity and what is this update country activity? Remember this update country activity is the save type option. How you are going to save? This is that. Earlier we used to use the database save. At that time we did not create any activity. But for a list you must create an activity. With the activity only you can update it. With the activity only you can update it. That's why here update country details. So here when I call save data page, when I call save data page d underscore savable country list, immediately Pega will check what is the save option of this. Here the save option is update country details. Then immediately it will call. What is the logic here? Data page I'm just looping because I don't know, right, how many number of records got manipulated. I don't know how many number of records got manipulated. That's why I am looping all the d underscore country savable country list data page 4 records one by one. I am copying into the temporary page and I am saving the data into back to the database, whether irrespective of whether it is modifier or not modified. Irrespective of whether it is modifier or not modified, the data is going to save into the database. So this is the data save option, but this is the calling activity. This is the calling activity, right? Because you manipulated the data here. Ultimately you have to save the data, right? To save the data into the database you have to use this method, or else you can use the flow, or else you can use from the flow action, save data page smart shape. Okay, okay, this is the whole story. Now let me, I think now this time run, because as of now I did not update it into the, as of now I did not update it into the database, right? Now run this calling activity. Now we enable the save data page, action, run. That's it. Okay, what happened? Okay, there has been issue, please consult. Okay, something went wrong. Let's see, d underscore savable country list, px results, property set, country name, country data, d underscore save data page name c and d underscore savable country list. Okay, but here what is the activity, update activity, property set, page new, obj save with the right now. Now what happened, we will see. Trace, what happened, we will see. We will run it again. Run. Now some exception is came. Okay, play. What happened, obj save, at obj save it got failed. So it is iterating. Let's see why it was failed. We will see that. Let's complete this one. Okay. Okay, just click on this one, obj save. What happened? Why it got failed? Okay. Property set when country description equal to Germany, property set with country name equal to Syria, property set save data page, then immediately when you see this one, update country details are calling, update country details are calling this activity, page copy and obj save. Here what happened at the obj save? Something went wrong, but you can try from your end what's happening at the obj save. Let's see, let's load this error message. Or let's see here anything is happening here. What happened? Why it is not saving into the database? Let's verify in the database first whether the details are saving into the database or not. Country, action, refresh. Syria, these two records are not updated. What happened? Database activity update country details. Okay, obj save country page, page copy, primary.px results. Obj save for each page I'm naming. Update country details. D underscore saveable country list dot px results looping when country description equal to Germany, you continue when skip step, when country description equal to Syria, okay, skip step. Now save data page, D underscore saveable country list. So everything is fine, right? Now just save and action run. Okay, unfortunately I am unable to trace it. Even I am tracing it also, that error is not opening properly. But definitely it will something. See what's happening. This Pega sometimes. Even I am unable to see the error message also. But I hope you understand this savable data page concept in Pega. But in this way you can implement it from your side. So any have any questions, please post your comments in the about this topic. Okay, this is a very lengthy topic, savable data page. I have covered all the options for multiples, for a single page, for a list savable data page as well, and flow level and flow action level also, etc. I hope. Thank you so much.